Okay, what are we playing this week then?
So today I thought we'd attempt to complete Strider for the Sega Mega Drive. So this is an arcade port released in 1990 of a 1989 Capcom arcade game. And it was sort of a big deal at the time because this is a game that really showed the technical prowess of the Mega Drive really for that time. Have you got any experience with the game at all?
None at all.
That's a bit unfortunate because this is sort of your classic brutal arcade game really. So it's not really a pick up and play kind of game.
Oh dear.
Do you want to get to it?
Yeah, let's go.
Got a little bits of intros and such in this game as well, actually.
That's nice.
Not too bad for the time. So it's your general sort of melee attack arcade game, really. So you want to move forwards, you can slash the enemies with your sword. If you hold down and press the jump button, you do this sort of skid along the ground, which you can kill. Yeah, that's it. You can kill them as you're skidding along, basically. And you can pick up extra health to improve your health bar over time as well. So you've got 3 at the moment, but you can sort of upgrade that as time goes on, as long as you don't die. It's sort of a temporary upgrade. Other than that, you've got these little helpers, and yeah, that's it. Just whack that thing. That's it. See these little helpers? They attach to one of your health bars. One of the health bars up there has gone red, and that health bar is sort of shared between you and the helper. So if you take damage on that health bar, you lose the helper as well. Because you can get green health upgrades over the top of that, which sort of protects it, if you see what I mean.
I do.
So you got another one now. You see, you got 2 red bars now.
Yeah, so the red bars will go when I take damage.
Yeah, the robots will go when you take damage. Yeah, you want to skid underneath that. You're not doing too bad, actually. Are you sure you haven't played this before?
I promise you I haven't.
Just try and whack him as much as possible, and then stay under that platform after he's dead as well.
What, under this one?
Yeah, just stand underneath it. That's it. This is a cool little set piece here.
That's cool.
And very cinematic for the time as well, because as you saw there, the music changed as it went, didn't it? It sort of had like a
It's got an awesome
music break.
soundtrack.
Yeah, it is fantastic. But the levels go through like a transition, so you sort of you move through different environments a little bit more, don't you? You know.
Yeah. Come left, damn it.
Yeah, so obviously the climbing mechanics were sort of one of the major things with this game when it came out in the arcades as well. Sort of quite an interesting aspect to the game. And apparently the designer actually came up with the idea for this climbing mechanics when he was stuck on a roof in his building trying to think up ideas for video games.
That's cool.
The door locked behind him and he had to climb down from the roof to like a, across like a fire escape type area through a window. And that gave him the inspiration for the game apparently.
That's cool. I'd just like to point out, until that section there, I hadn't taken any damage on that section.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Yeah, that's it, lucky.
Could have told me that was...
What?
I don't expect us to do this on the first go anyway. I kind of like to have more like 5 energy bars here.
I mean, I was going to say this looks like Sonic the Hedgehog, and then
Yeah.
it's got the launcher.
Yeah, you're right to mention that actually, yeah. Sonic definitely takes from this level. 100%, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's something that I'd forgotten. Oh, I'm getting my arse handed to me now.
Yeah, you're dead, basically. You get your health back, don't you, setback?
Never known the best way of doing this bit, really.
Don't get caught in his gravity.
You generally do.
Right, you've got a health thing down there. If you wait for him to go above you... Oh, you did. That's pretty good. You done him?
Good.
You only lost 1 health.
Yeah, I did alright there.
Or is that a speed thing?
Yeah.
Slash the motherfuckers.
So it.
Something dark side.
It's Palpatine. Wait a minute. Dinosaurs. Amazons and dinosaurs.
I think we're going to end up cludging our way through this if we can.
Clutching. Oh, that's nasty.
There's a lot of quite interesting imagery in the game as well, really, isn't there? You know, on top of sort of interesting gameplay mechanics. And the guy who designed this, he actually left Capcom shortly after this game came out because it quite underperformed at the arcades, I think.
Oh,
so he left the company, and he actually made a sort of unofficial sequel to the game called, I think it was called Osman or something like that. Right. And that's very similar to sort of the Strider style and gameplay in a lot of ways. You can tell it's made by the same person.
Yeah.
That's definitely worth checking out. If anyone's a fan of this game, that's definitely worth checking out. And this game was a big hit in Britain as well, actually. And they even... Oh, shit! Right.
Good
That's
job,
a bit of
Rich.
a problem.
Good job.
Yeah, this game was quite a big hit in Britain as well, actually, at the time. And we ported it to just about every computer at the time over here, because we used to port them to our computers, like the Spectrum and the Amstrad and such. And we even made like a sequel to the game ourselves. So there's actually a British-made sequel to Strider, and it's famously awful.
Oh.
So it's sort of like...
I thought you were going to say it's really good and
no, it's,
pick it up because it's British. And...
People constantly bring it up, like how terrible a sequel it was. I mean, for an Atari ST game, maybe it's not horrendous, but it was high...
Oh, as if I just missed the edge!
It was sort of a massive disappointment, to say the least, from the original.
Yeah.
I better try and concentrate here, I think, actually.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is wait until those ones are lined up as well.
Can't you just run off of this one and jump off that way?
No.
Would that not make you further? It would. Well, yeah, so getting hit saved your life. Need to wait for that to come back.
No, I'm dead now.
What? Why are you dead? You're not dead. Keep going. Oh.
Oh, I've done it. Good. That's probably the hardest part in the game.
But you're stepping inside him. That's...
Where's the thing?
What thing?
They dropped something down here. They didn't drop it, so I can't do it.
You're behind it now.
Sometimes they basically drop a double length sword there.
Yeah. So now you tried to cheat, and because you tried to cheat...
It's not cheating. I can get underneath it. I just can't do it without a double-sided sword.
You're going to be poked.
When the hell am I supposed to attack the damn thing?
Jump it. Right.
Unless the
Now
timing
jump and hit.
needs to be perfect.
Yeah.
No, I've done this hundreds of times. I've never managed to do it without taking a hit. It lifts up, jump, get killed on the way back.
Can you jump through its arm?
It's over.
Oh dear. Oh well, let's go again.
Yeah, this was quite a big endeavour for Capcom, I think, at the time, because they actually had 3 separate groups of people working on Strider. They had they were working with some manga creators who created they created a manga for Strider effectively to release at the same time as the arcade game. But they also had a completely separate NES game in production as well. So the NES version's a completely different game.
Wow. What is with the word kludge with you today? If it isn't even a word.
I think kludge is sort of the word that we want to use for the way that we play this game. Blunder our way through.
Blunder makes us sound inept though, so I prefer kludge.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking bastard!
Well,
You idiot!
that's never happened to me before. I was going to escape from that thing, and then in the end I go, no, what are you doing? Jump off of it!
Oh, what?
You just lost a life.
Why?
Because it just threw you to your death and you just let it.
I thought you meant to go that way.
No.
I thought it killed you because you got hit by the bullet, and that's why it made you drop.
I think we're back to doing as badly as we was last
Oh,
time now.
Christ. Well, this is a spike you need to avoid. Now you need to go. Yeah, that's good.
I think maybe you get momentum when you jump.
Yeah. Well, that second jump always takes damage off you, though.
Yeah.
That's it, go. You've got time. Slash. It's like
Well,
an AD
that's the
save point.
save point there. Am I killing it too fast?
You're fucked now.
Unless I can get to the stage where I can just do this.
Can you jump through its arm?
perfectly.
So only spiky bits. Oh, well done. You've done
I
it perfectly
survived
then.
it then. Jump.
No, too early. You jump
Maybe
too early.
I'm too close to it.
Yeah. You get closer. You're not, oh, yeah,
You
there
used
you
to be
go.
far away. That was the
Yeah.
problem I was doing.
Yeah.
I was getting too close to it.
You're a bit too close, I think. Yeah, you're way too close. Too close. Oh, you're right. Dodge. Those don't come above you. They never come down to your level. Right. That's okay. Jump it, jump it. Oh. So you didn't have
If I
space
would
to
have gone
dodge.
straight into them.
Yeah. And that's that. That's good. Go back. Come forward. Forward a bit. Oh, you can't have much left. You really can't. Why did you jump?
So I didn't need to panic last time, did I? Because this
No.
thing doesn't actually get that close to
He
you.
does get close. He did the time before that. Oh, he's going back now. Nice, nice. Once you've got the method down, this is extremely easy. Yeah, no,
I
you couldn't
think
do
I
anything
did
about that. Now he's come right onto you. That's annoying. You have to lure him back. Right
Yeah,
back. Just lure him
I'm
right
gonna do
back.
that.
He'll just keep jumping. One more. Right, slide under. Nice.
Good.
What's this?
I don't remember. Oh, it's
Oh,
this
it's a
thing.
centipede. What is
This
it?
thing isn't actually that dangerous, to be honest.
Isn't it?
It's more, it just sort of takes you to the final boss.
So you can't hurt it.
Not until the end, I think. Oh, this is actually really dangerous, to be honest. I was lying completely there. You have to stay sort of on the flat sections of this. Don't move about too much on it. Because this thing, you just drop off of it. You know how you are with the,
Yeah.
the vines very often. If you're not in this sort of middle bit that's not moving much, you can very easily get killed like that. In fact, that was very close to being my death there.
You're not hitting it. It's
No,
not
you can't hit it until
there.
this bit here, basically. Sorted, good.
Cool. Is that a checkpoint?
It's final boss. And I usually just clutch the final boss, but I don't have any health.
That's okay. You still got to continue. On life. Did you get him? Jump. Oh no, you're right. Oh, that's it. It's the end of it. Oh, you got life back.
Yeah,
You've done him.
I've done it. Yes.
Yeah, well done.
Was that 3 or 4 attempts in the end? Was it 3,
Three.
wasn't it?
That's
Yeah.
the third attempt.
What's the ending like then? Just showed all the enemies basically, isn't it?
Analyze. Is that a planet?
Yeah.
So he doesn't need breathing apparatus, and that thing can fly.
Going back to Earth.
If that is Earth. Okay, Richard, what do you think of the game then?
Well, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is quite an impressive sort of technically quite an impressive game for the Mega Drive for the time that really showed off the hardware. You got some massive sprite enemies, haven't you? And you've also got quite a lot of sort of dynamic usage of the sprites with like the vines and such.
Yeah.
Sort of, you know, they warp and they move around. They have momentum, don't they? They sort of throw you around.
Yeah, clever use of physics.
Yeah, there must be a lot of physics in this game for the time period, really, for this type of game. And obviously this brings in the grappling mechanics as well, so you can sort of climb around the levels, jumping from platform to platform. That's sort of a cool element, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
very interesting for the time, quite memorable as well. And for 1990, this is a very impressive arcade port as well. It represents the arcade original very, very well. You know, I mean, obviously there's fewer colours, there's maybe a bit more sprite flicker here and there, and the enemy helpers don't work quite as well as I remember them working in the arcade game. But apart from that, you know, the way that the game plays and feels is very, very close, I'd say, to the arcade game, and the way it looks as well for the time period. On the other side, this is very much a brutal arcade game, isn't it? It is very much a game where you probably have to play it a lot to sort of half get a handle on where the enemies are. And
But is
such.
that on the other side though? Do we want games that are so stupidly easy that we can just race
I
through
don't-
them?
I'm saying they
I
should
like
be
a challenge.
easy, but this is unfair at times, I would say. The physics with the vines are quite difficult to get a handle on sometimes. Sometimes they just move unnaturally and they will just throw you to your death.
And sometimes you'll slip through the gap and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that
Sometimes
did
a vine
happen
will
to you,
take you
actually.
below the actual plane of the walkway.
For me, this is a game that is rewarding, and the more that you play it, the more that you appreciate it. But I mean, you just put it on and enjoyed it, really, didn't
Yeah,
you?
definitely.
So, what do you reckon then? You
Well,
reckon this is the first time you played it?
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I think it's a good game. I like the artwork. The artwork for the time's excellent.
Yeah.
The prowess that it shows of the 16-bit console is just
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. For 1990, I mean, obviously,
it really uses all the hardware
games
very
like
well.
Gunstar Heroes coming out a few years later
Mm.
will, take it to the next level and such. But for 1990, this is very impressive. I
Yeah,
would say.
it's very, very good. Musically, excellent. That's a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's a really
Yeah.
good backing soundtrack. Constantly changing as the level moves on. Excellent. Difficulty of gameplay. I know what you're saying. It is hard to pick up, but I enjoyed it as soon as I picked it up. So, what are you going to give the game then?
Well, after a lot of thought, I've decided it is a very important game, but it's not without its flaws. But I think very important, very impressive for the time, and it's a very rewarding game. So I'm going to give 4 out of 5. That's my score. What do you reckon then?
Based on the fact that it really does use the hardware extremely well, the music's great, it's very good for its time, but it does have some glaring flaws in the fact that it's quite hard to pick up in places.
I feel like those flaws were probably necessary for an arcade machine.
Yeah, so
That shows that it's heritage. More,
that's
you know?
that. See that it's one of its strengths is also its flaws because it's such a good port
Yeah.
that it's carried over a bit too much, unfortunately. So for that reason, I'm also going to give it a 4. So guys, that was Strider for this week. Really enjoyed the game.
Yeah, it's a cool game. It's a classic, really, isn't
Yeah,
it?
really enjoyable, great fun action. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed it, give us a comment, tell us what you think about the game. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel. We're always releasing great new content like this, and we will see you next week with another game, guys. Take care.
So yeah.